Hello, a very good evening, and welcome to this free bootcamp session for the 5 days. So, firstly, I introduce myself. This is Shrikar, co-founder of Smarted. So, today we are here to start our 5 days free bootcamp session. Uh, yeah. So, firstly, when it comes to here for this bootcamp, there are certain rules and regulations which will be followed for the next 5 days. So, from today 20, the bootcamp runs for till 24th of this month, and the student who is attending from the first day need to be it need to be the entire 5 days of the session, and we'll also having attendance for this every day. So the people who is attending each and every day in these 5 days will only be presenting a certificate of completing this course. And we also have certain think the students who are entirely running all this 5 days session, so we have a special surprise for them, and we also offer some each on some certain gifts for people who are entirely attending these 5 days of bootcamp. And as you've seen the thumbnail of our 5 days of bootcamp, so there is a mentor named Lokesh. He's an Android senior Android developer. So from one of the top MNC companies, he'll be taking this entire 5 days of bootcamp session, and he'll be introducing some content which is related to Android development. Oh, so we can start. So we'll introduce your mentor to you.
Okay, let's wait for a few minutes. So hello everyone, this is Lukesh. I'm gonna be your mentor for this live session. So in this session, we're gonna learn how to develop an UX UI development using MS Studio, which is helpful for Android application development. So to go further, let me brief you about what we're gonna learn in next few days of bootcamp. So in the first day, we're gonna learn how to deploy, how to set up the environment, how to download Java development kit, software development kit, and Studio, how to set up the environment, all these things, and we're gonna build a small demo application today. To just boost up your thing, how can boost up your feel and goodwill. So on the second day, we're gonna learn how to design a UI using XML. And meanwhile, in the between the sessions, while we are downloading some content and all, I'm gonna give you some good stuff, good tips and tricks that will be more helpful to you. Then in a third day, we're gonna have complete UI. Like we're gonna design splash screen, welcome screen, and login, register, and a main screen. We're gonna design all these screens by the end of third day. And in the fourth, we're gonna discuss your own ideas. We're gonna take input from one of the viewers, and by voting system, we're gonna get one single app which we're gonna develop for the rest of the sessions. We're gonna take one best idea and we're gonna work on that. We together gonna work on that and we're gonna develop the session. So before going further, let me show you how can we download and set up the environment. So just go to the link and I should download, and the first link you can see. Click here, accept the rules and regulations. So yeah, so it's gonna take some time to download because it's a GB file and it's huge. So before going that, let us come to a point and see. So before going to develop what the basic requirements that we need in an Android application is in system we need 4 GB RAM. It should be good storage. Okay? Or and if there is extra RAM, that will be additional benefit to the system because Android Studio is the huge software. It takes a whole RAM, and if you go with low RAM, it can blast your system as well. And while designing Android applications, we have an n number of softwares out there like Android Studio, Flutter, React, all these things. But most of the developers use Android Studio to develop Android applications. The main reason is Android Studio gives you lots of free libraries in which you can use while building the application in such a way that whatever the UI you need, whatever the graphics you can add, you can just get them and you can add them. But if you go to other software like Flutter or React or there are lots of things that you have to pay and use them. So Android Studio, I suggest Android Studio is the best platform to create an Android application. And in Android Studio, we're gonna use Java, XML, Kotlin. So for the functionality, we're gonna use Java and Kotlin. These both are the languages that we're gonna use, but only one is preferable, which is Java. If you are a beginner and you no, let's discuss brief about why Java and why Kotlin. Kotlin is to someone who is interested only developing Java applications and only developing Android applications. Sorry. So I don't think so. Anyone wants to be only an Android application developer. So to those people, Kotlin is the best. But if you go for Java, we have a number of other activities too. Like by using Java, you can by learning Java, you can crack your interviews. You can go for an interview. You can by Java DS, you can code. There are other activities. Even if you learn Java, in later on you can even easily shift to Kotlin. Both are IDK forms and XML. XML is something that we're gonna learn in this boot camp, and in this XML, what exactly is it? We're gonna design layouts, layouts in XML, the list forms, how the list is going to be, how to get a certain number of items, a certain item of like items into a list using the recycle view. What are the buttons? What are the layouts? How can we design the buttons? How can we shift from one screen to other screen by just clicking a small button? And all these things will be taught. And I know it's not a easy job, or it's not no, it's impossible actually to cover all the content in this 5 days bootcamp, but we are trying to get at least a basic knowledge of an application development so that you can by the end of the bootcamp you can get a confident of, yeah, I can do this application, I can able to develop the application. So here you see we have completed the download of the APK of the Android Studio. Let's run this. And while it's getting ready, let's discuss about what are the career opportunities, what are the long run race of this Android Studio and Android application development. So nowadays, Android is on boosting technologies. Many people are using this Android development, and they are developing the applications and all these things. But and yeah, it's actually that. Hmm. So about this, if you are good in Android application development, you will be having a large number of opportunities out there where you can be a programmer, you can be a developer, application developer, and he. by the by running this Android application. You can have something like you can develop your own applications. You can post in Play Store. Uh, so what are the things that you can, what are the ways to earn good amount in Android application? So see, while after posting, you can have three or four options which are best of like adding ads in your application, in-app purchases, subscriptions, all this. By these including, you can add a good amount of things. So here we have installed. Yeah, ready. Okay, done. So after this, we'll be showing one more. We need Java as well. JDK. All these links, what are the links that I'm opening, whatever the downloads I'm doing, all this will be shared with you. Once after you filling your the form that is in the description, please do check out that and please do complete the process. Once you fill the description, you're gonna get the all these links to a mail. So yeah, so now the Java is under development. I mean under download. Once it's done, Java downloading, we will be moving the setup part. And meanwhile, I'm ready to take your questions. If you have anything that you wanna ask me during the session or whatever the things that we have. So here you go. Once you complete the downloading part, you can just open this and install the rest of the process. Just click on else to all the things and next. I guess you can't. Are you able to see the installation process like Android Studio setup process? So just click on next, next, and install. It's gonna take a few minutes. Once the Android Studio got installed, uh, even gonna install this JDK because we're gonna use Java programming language for developing the application. And usually I don't delete my software for anyone. And however, guys, everything is there. So I've deleted all my softwares and now freshly I'm installing from scratch. And I'm gonna show you how to do all the installing process. Once you're done with all the installing, then we're gonna go for the other parts. So as I'm just telling you, just please do install all these softwares in your system so that you can run with me, you can code with me, you can join me and by the so now you can see I have installed the complete Android application. The SDK is done installing. So once the SDK is done, we need a device to run our application. Once we completed the program, we need a device. So the device is called AVD, which is application virtual device, where we're gonna develop the application and run in the device. So I usually suggest to Once you are done with application development, you better go with a real-time device rather than getting a virtual device, because there are lots of things that we need, like giving permissions for camera, mics, collection data, all these things. By giving permissions of virtual storage, it may not work as efficient as it works in the real-time devices. So I'm going to show you that as well. How can we connect a real-time device to an application here, and we're gonna run and yes, you wanna no, what we installed 1 GB file is nothing. After that, it's gonna take a lot of time to install. There are lots of plugins and lots of data that has to be installed. So once you are done with the Java installations, we have to set up the environment. We wanna set up the environment by going to the environment path. So I'm gonna show you how can we do that. Just open your path, your system, the environmental path. Then you'll be getting a edit environment variable for your account. Just open that. Once you open, you can see two things: user variables for users, system variables. In user variables, select the path and click on edit, and then just add a new path of your Java development kit which you have just installed. So it will be in your C folder, or local disk O, which is the main one. Go there, and the programming files, you can see a file called Java once you done installing the Java kit. And in Java, you will be getting a file. If you are installing just now, if it's a first version, it's the first time you are installing, you will be getting as JDK 20. And in this JDK 20, into the path. Once you are done adding that, just click on OK. Then in the system variables, you have to add a path again. In the system variables, just click on the path, edit it, and OK. You can even have home. Once you are done with everything, once you are done with setting these things, please let me know in the comments so that I can, or you can reach us at contact at the rate of smarted.in or .pro. We'll be getting back to you if you are facing any type of problems. So, as you know, as we can't able to cover all the things, it's impossible. So we have designed a long-term course, which you can register from smarted.in, or you can just fill the form which is right below in the description, and our team will get back to you with all the details that we're gonna teach you, and what will be the things that you wanna learn, what will the outcome, everything as a curriculum you will be getting to your mail. Then, once completing the installation, you can see a nice dashboard where you will be getting actually before after completion you wanna design a folder. You know how you're gonna design? You just type the name of the app that you're gonna build. It can be any name. It's once it's done, next you can click on next, and new project you have. Once it's done, you will be getting a place where you will be getting a plus option. Click on that. It's a new project, and please do select a basic view, because you know while we are creating from scratch, basic view gives you a lot of things to learn, like empty activity. You will be getting as empty activity. In the left side, you will be getting sorry, excuse me, mobile and tab, Wear OS, Android TV, and automotive. Just ignore them. Just click on and mobile and tab. Click on empty activity next. Then you will be asked the name of the application that you're gonna build. You can give any name, but make sure the name that you're gonna give should not be any library name. So the thing, how do you know that the thing is a library name? So while you are entering the details, you will be getting whether it's a name existing in a library or not. So you can easily identify and make sure the name that you're gonna use is a small letters, all are case sensitive, because the you have to give only in the lower cases. So this is how you're gonna get this is how you're gonna get the project outcome. Once you click on new activity, add project, you will be getting something like new project like this, a layout where you have to fill your details like name. So this is a live session. We will be giving us live package name. Com dot, it should be the same. You can only change the example. As we're gonna do this in a smarted, I'm gonna keep this as smarted. So this is the path where your application gonna be, and here you can select the minimum and maximum SDK. So minimum and maximum SDK. What's this? SDK mean a software development kit. So what is this SDK? So SDK is something that we're gonna get the application, like, you know, if it has to work in a low scale mobile application. So these are the mobile versions like 5.0, 5.1, 6.0, 7.0. All these are mobile versions that we are using so far. So what are the SDK, which from this SDK it has to work. So in the minimum, so we're going to keep this least, or you can even have the highest as well. If your application is that heavy application that only gives that can run in a heavy devices, then you can go for higher. If you wanna build an application which wanna learn run on a smaller devices also, like, you know, old mobile phones, their SDK versions are too low. So in the end, by taking that into consideration, we're gonna keep our a minimum SDK of 5 and a API value of 21, and click on finish. Once you click on finish, you will be getting a screen where everything is starting development. So now your application is building by Android Studio. Let's wait a while so that it completes the setup for us. So once the setup is done, just click on finish. And you can see a nice layout here. This is where you will be getting your project name here. It's a live that we have just added. Complete is a setup. So once it's complete the setup, you can see what's the new in this Studio because it's a latest version. Once it's done, so once you let it get loaded everything. So once it's done, it's gonna give you this way. But we are not using Kotlin here. This is the Kotlin code. It is the basic code that Android Studio develops for you. But as we are not using Kotlin, just delete the Kotlin code. We will be using Java here. So before going to Kotlin or Java, so far I have told you how Java and Kotlin are works and why Java is going to why we gonna use Java for development, why not Kotlin? So as I mentioned, if you are learning only Android development and you wanna do only Android Studio development, you need Java, Kotlin. Sorry, if you are need only then if you I know most no one needs only Android development, only web development. Everyone gonna learn new things. So and which is as a beginner, as a no coding knowledge person, Java is the best thing which you can learn and you can start your coding journey. So you can see there are lots of things that they're getting downloaded for us, which are this is why Android Studio gives serves you everything ready to your stay. Once we are done, we will start. So just wait for a while. You can have some snacks at home. So that let us complete the installation. Taking a long time. Till it completes the building, let me familiar you with some functions that you're gonna use. So here we need a card. So this is a logcat. Logcat is used for debugging, for knowing how the application is running. Now all the things that if there is any error or anything in the code, we can see here. Kotlog gives you sorry, logcat gives you everything that defines your application. By seeing here we can be able to find at which line which activity the bug is there, and at which point we are getting app crashes. While building an application we will be facing a lot of crashes meanwhile, because due to uh, there are some basic reasons of crashing is id errors, assigning wrong ids. See, in UI in the sense the interface that we're gonna design, we're gonna give some IDs like suppose we think smarted. Smarted is the ID that we are given to a particular button, and to give while we are going to give the function to that particular button, we may give as uh, something like smarted dot or smarted in this way. Due to this also we will be losing the control on this button and this may crash. So all these things will be shown in the logcat, and we have an option called build where we'll be seeing all the things that what's going on, how the application is building, what are the downloads, what are the libraries we are downloading. All these things will be here in the download by building part. So if a building is successful, which means your app is good, we are ready to deploy the application in the real-time devices. Yeah. So once we are done with, so now we have finished our building of live application.
Live application is doesn't mean that if we are live complete application is done. I mean the application with the name live is setup is done. So let's see the basic UI how it has given to us. So for design, seeing that you have to go to resources. So let me get you a clear picture of files. What are these files? So at the beginning, if you go for manifest file, this is the file where you're gonna store all your data. This data in the sense, love, what are the layouts that you are getting, or what is the application name, what is the main logo of the name, then you need any launch, which is the starting page of the application and which is the last page of application, what are the navigations that we're going to do from the first page to the last page, what are the functions. So all these things will be defined here. Like we see our activity, it's main activity here, which is in the Java folder. This is the main activity, which means this is the starting page of the application. So here it's here the application starting page. So this is the page of application. So if you want to change the starting page of the application in between the coding, so you just want to copy this line of code, this intent filter. If you with this, you have to cut this. Actually you have to cut this for and add to that particular layout which you're gonna create and which you want to make as a landing page, which means the opening page. When we're gonna open any mobile application, you can see a screen that pop-ups for a few seconds, like 3 to 4 seconds, and get back to the main screen. So for that kind of application, that kind of screen, you have to copy this link, this particular code, and you have to give it to that particular activity that you need. Okay, so I'm just right here. So this is the code for the starting page, landing page, in case you wanna change. If you don't want to change, you can use directly as a main activity as your base code. This is the main activity, as it's given the basic code. It's a basic code where it's given like hello text and a modifier. Let me go to the layout, how it's gonna look like. Resources. Successful development is needed. Okay. So because we have just downloaded this, there are a few things that you have to add. You have to connect the virtual studios account. We have to virtual device to this to run the application. For that, you have to go here. Here you can see an application with a name of Pixel 3a. This is the virtual device that system has been developed by itself. It's downloaded the application and set up for you. But I suggest a physical application. You can connect your mobile phones. So to connect that, you have two options actually. If your mobile version is greater than 11, OS version is 11 or more than 11, you can use the option called pair with Wi-Fi. If the mobile Wi-Fi that is connected to your system and the Wi-Fi that is connected to your mobile are same, then you can scan the Wi-Fi, this particular code which is given, and you can initialize the pairing. If in case the say both are different, or your API and OS is less than 11, how can you connect? So for that, you have to go to your mobile, go to the setting about phone, and you have to tap 7 times in the version part. In few mobiles it will be a different thing. Okay, in most of the mobiles it will be as a version or a developer thing. If you tap for 7 times, you will be getting an option called developer option has been enabled. And then you can go to the developer option, uh, keep your mobile in the developer mode, bug mode. You will be getting a button. You can click that. It will be going into the developer or a bug mode. Then you can connect your cable using your USB. You can connect your mobile and the system. So I guess everyone had no. I mean everybody got the knowledge how you gonna set up this. In case of any doubts, you can get back to our team. They're gonna clear you and they're gonna guide you how can you get how can you install and develop this application. Can you set up this environment and how can you connect the application, I mean mobile phone. Then we have gone through the manifest file, then we go with Java. So here this is a place where we're gonna get all the things, like all the things in the science. We're gonna create the layouts, like different layers. So in any application we don't have a single layout, we will be having multiple layouts. So how we gonna do all this? So just click on you select the file. This is the main file. This is the name, like com.smarter.live. This is the application ID. This is very important, which because we're gonna use this com.application smarter.live. In my case it's a smarter.live. In your case you can give as you wish. It's once you are done the once you know what where we're going to use this is actually this is going to represent our app in the Play Store. We can connect this to by using this particular code. We can connect to the database like Firebase, or then we go for click on right click new and Java class. You have to create a Java class. So here you wanna create like class or interface all this. So what's the difference between class, interface, and other all things? So class is something uh, file, a complete file, like layout. Okay, and interface are links like message interfaces, like a server, all these things. Let me create a one for you. Like we'll go for test. This is the interface that we have created, test.java. So here once we have created this is just a file. It's not connected to any UI or any front end. All in the next upcoming sessions we're going to learn how can we connect this, how can we do that, and yeah, all these things. So this is how we're gonna create the files. Once we are done with that, we even have two more files. If you see here, with the same name but the bracket, it's like Android test and a test. These two we are not gonna touch these two files throughout the course. Not only the throughout course, while developing the application, we are not gonna touch any of these files. Then this is the manifest and the app part. Then we are done with Java. We go for resources. Resources is a place where we're gonna store all our data like files, images, animation, any page, Java or any JSON files that you have. You can store in resources, or any audio files. Every single file will be stored here, and we'll be fetching the data from here to the main code. So here drawables. Drawables are place where we're gonna store all our images. So all our images will be images and videos gonna store in the drawable. Then WinMap. Map is a place where it's gonna generate our launcher logos. Launcher logos are nothing but the icons that we see in the Play Store or in our mobile applications. Well, a YouTube logo, a small logo which is in our screen. So all these small logos, it will be created by the map. It will be created automatically. So we're gonna come to know in future how in upcoming sessions how can we create that, how can we get our own logos and connect to this particular mobile application. Then the values are like color. What are the colors you're gonna use? You're gonna give them in the color.xml. What are, so like this format. If you are, these are the basic colors that Android Studio gives you, or if you want to add any other colors about this, just you can have here color is name. Then you can give a name of your wish. Like suppose we're gonna give something called orange. Here you have to give the color code of this. So if you have no knowledge on color code, just click on 0000 for 6 times. It's gonna give you black. Click here and you can change your color from here. So like orange. So now this is the orange color code. While using in your layouts, you can just add orange. You can give orange as a color code and automatically these colors will be reflected over there. Then coming for the strings. Strings are nothing but the language that you're gonna use. More than a language, it's a words. So these can be transformable. If you are building a multi-languageable app, then it's very much important to give every single text that was given in the app, which is a static text, that should be given here in the string, because by using these strings we can able to convert the languages. We can have multiple languages by using these kind of strings. Like here, if as a name of the app is live, if you want to change the app name into some other like smarted, by just changing this one place, whole app gonna change the name from live to smarted. So this is very much important to give every single text in the strings. Then we go for theme. Theme is nothing but how our application gonna look. So here they have given a style. So this is where we're gonna create some styles. Styles like whether we need a taskbar at the top, or whether we need some animations, or whether we need create button styles. How the button should be, whether it should be a rectangle, circle, all these things. We have two options. We can create here and deploy in our UI, or we can directly create an UI itself. So I suggest to create an UI itself, because as a beginners, if you create here and go there, you're gonna get some confusions in our stage. So let's look into this thing here. Themes. What are the themes that are available here? They gave us a no action bar. Action bar in the sense the top line that you can see. So if you need action bar, you can just click off action, you delete that and add action bar. So here you can see a dark action bar. Dark action bar in the sense you'll be getting a dark bar at the top. No action bar, in the sense no action bar, you can remove the action bar. Or if it's on full screen, which means you will be getting nothing. A full screen, whatever the UI that you're gonna design, it will be a full loaded in UI. In the same way, all as it's mentioned in the names, all the functions are similar. So we're gonna have no action bar because it suits our law. So this is what values are. Then we go for XML. XML are nothing but the backup rules, and if you need something that you have to learn right here, you can give some data. You can have data extraction rules and all. It's not preferable to go into this deep because we are not going to use any single thing. We are not going to code anything in this XML file. Then this is about the coding part. Now we go for the Gradle build. In this Gradle build, we're gonna use only two folders. One is build Gradle project and one is build Gradle module. So let's go for build module. First go for project. So project. This is a plugin page where you can get the plugins from other sources. For example, if you are connecting your application to a platform such as Firebase, which is a Google provided database, if you want to create, you're gonna connect that, then what you're gonna do is you just fill the form of this. there, and you will be getting an IDs. Copy the ID and you can paste here, where it will be synchronized and it will be connected to your Google Firebase, and you can easily use that Firebase as a server. So this is a plugin place. Then we go for module place. Module place is something very interesting, I must say. Like, what is the SDK version? You can change the SDK version. You can change the whole application URL. By changing. If you have a code with you, let us assume you have an code which is pre-built by someone, and you have to change the name of the application and publish by yourself. So you can use this actually, by changing the name here in the namespace. The whole app will be changed. You have to change it three places. Okay, one is this is the main part, while you're gonna upload in the live servers like Google Play Store. Google gonna check two files. One is the manifest file and the second one Gradle file. So in which you have to change the manifest file and the Gradle file, and the third one is here. The Java folder you have to change this com.smarted.com dot live. You have to change this. So yeah, I will be knowing one by one how can we change, how can we publish, how can we develop the application, or how can we deploy as well. We will be knowing everything step by step. Then this is the minimum SDK 33. So what's the difference between this minimum SDK and this complex SDK? Compile SDK, sorry. So here this SDK gives you while we are getting some libraries from the other activities, like we'll be getting libraries from animation from animator. We will be getting loiter libraries to get the animated images, animated scripts to reflect the JSON files, and we're gonna get Firebase as I was been telling you from the beginning. We're gonna use the server as a Firebase to get all their modules. So in some modules, if you go for the higher level modules, which are like uh, modifications, there are some plugins which we get morphorisms, nephromorphonism, glass morphorisms. These run in a high level compile SDK, like compare and targeted SDK. There will be high, so we have to change them according to the plugins and get they keep this. This SDK refers to that particular thing. Compile SDK is something which is related to libraries and all. And these minimum SDK and targeted SDK are something related to our mobile phones. Like what's the minimum SDK version of our current mobile. So usually the mobiles which are currently available in the market are mostly supporting for 32, 34, 35, sorry, 34, 32, 33, 34 SDKs. All these SDKs will be supported by mobiles that are currently in the market. Then we go for down build types, compare options, all these things. This is like, so this is where we're gonna write the code which is so which helps us in multi-language apps. Like we're gonna write a code here which will be helpful while we use a code before publishing in our mobiles directly, just downloading the APK, just building the APK from software and using that particular code. It will be so easy. It will be it can run. We can run and we can use all the things. But once we deploy the code in the Android, sorry, in the Google Store, Play Store, there we will be getting some complications in few modules like languages, then server connections. In all these things, we'll be getting problems of sort of bugs. So to resolve those kind of bugs, we're gonna code here, we're gonna give a certain lines of code to just, even though even after publishing this application in the Play Store, it works well with no bugs and all. Then all these things are done. That here dependencies. This is where we're gonna insert. We are gonna get all the modules at one place. So how we gonna get that? So it just we're gonna implement implement what we're gonna implement. Whatever the things that we're going to implement, just copy the link, paste it, and it this and the studio will implement and get everything ready at your doorstep. Okay, implement in the sense we can't able to implement any app, get the link, paste and import. It's not, it doesn't work in that way. Importing the libraries, I must say, all these things will be getting to know. So only these two files that we're going to work in entire development. So once we done importing, we have to click on sign now so that it can build the application for us and get ready. So these are the files that we're going to use in this upcoming sessions. From tomorrow, we will be starting UI design. How we're going to design, how we can make the UI. I'm gonna give you, whoever fills the form, which is in the description. We are telling from the beginning of the session. Whoever fills the form, you will be getting designs tonight to your mails. So the design that we're gonna mail you, that particular design we're gonna complete. We're gonna build from scratch in upcoming session in next 4 days of bootcamp, and sorry, in 3 days of bootcamp actually, in the fourth day, which is like fifth day according to from tomorrow if you can't. In fifth day, we're gonna discuss about the projects that you guys come out with us, and with that, we're gonna end this bootcamp. So if you are having any doubts and all, you can go on, or you can just connect us at info@smarted.pro, or you can go to our website smarted.in. Uh, Now it's time. Shikha will have from here.
So, sorry for the interruption, guys. And once again, sorry for the audio problem which you guys faced. We'll be figuring out by tomorrow's session. So will be making entire audio problem by we'll make audio all the audio ready, audio problems ready. And so I've gone through the comments and I've seen some few students are asking regarding the installation PDF. We also will be sharing the installation PDF. So that guys, you need to fill that attendance sheet which we have been shared in the chat. We have pinned over that. You guys, everyone need to fill that attendance sheet so that we can email you the PDF which is related to the installation. And tomorrow, once again, we'll be having the installation process. And finally, we can continue with the remaining parts of the program. So as of today, this is the last thing, and we'll connect by tomorrow at the same time. 7 to 8 will be our next session. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much.